Hi, I'm Katie with Modern Textiles, and today I'm going to fill you in on all the quilting supplies I've bought, and I wish I didn't. So I'm going to start off with the most expensive, regretful buys that I've made, which is a crazy amount of acrylic rulers. Probably out of this bunch, I would recommend my 12-inch, I've got a 12.5-inch square ruler. It's great for squaring up your quilts, but really, I think I got this one gifted, thank goodness. I never use a 2.5-inch square ruler. I think I've got 4.5-inch, I've got 8.5-inch, I've got this 6-inch by 12-inch. Honestly, it's countless how many acrylic rulers I have. One, they're super expensive, and two, you really could probably get away with maybe 3 at the minimum. I would say the square one is a must for me. I quilt. I'm a big quilter. Squaring up quilts is huge. I know friends that don't have a 12.5-inch, but they got like a 18.5-inch. That's a little too big for me. But I'd say a square ruler is a must for just getting those squared corners. I then have my 24.5-inch ruler by 6.5-inch. It's a fabulous size. It came with my original sewing supplies that I got from my grandmother. And then also I have an 18.5-inch by a 3.5-inch. That's great for small trimmings like half square triangles, larger blocks that just need to get trimmed up. It's small, it's lightweight, it's easy to tuck away. Those would be my 3 must-haves. Anything beyond that, I don't really use. So using my square ruler for any type of half square triangle trimming is big, as well as any other type of block trimming. I typically use this one, or I use my 3.5-inch by 18.5-inch. All right, the next few might be a hot take, but I'm gonna stand by it. This is the one and only bottle of starch I've ever bought. I'm sure if you're doing very intricate piecing, small piecing, starch is a must-have, or maybe if you're sewing with linens quite a bit. But honestly, I think that this starch has evaporated more than I've ever used it in the multiple years. I wonder if there's an expiration date or any type of sell date. There isn't, but I cannot tell you. I guarantee I bought this at Joann's, and I rarely use it. I find myself not reaching for starch whenever I am working on quilts. So for me, starch is a waste of money. The next one, this is this or that type situation. So spray based or pins. It might be something you got to dabble in both to see what works for you best. One, I never use either because I have a long arm. I know that's very not realistic for everyone, but when I was quilting without my long arm before that, I had tried out basting spray. I didn't like using it on baby quilts because I just didn't want to add another chemical into that situation. So I got used to pin basting, and really even pin basting on a higher surface and just rolling everything and working on it section at a time on a table like this, a kitchen counter, or an island is ideal. So that way you can pin and then shift, smooth out the backing, smooth out the batting, smooth out your quilt top, pin this area. And that way you're not, I don't know, I feel like once you hit a certain age, you shouldn't be kneeling on the ground for extended periods of time if you want to stand upright in the next hour. So for me, I'm a pin gal. I still have this random can of spray just in case the event comes up. But to be honest, one or the other, test out, sample out what works best for you, and then save some money by, to me, using reusable is always the way to go. All right, and the next big one. I regret, heavily regret the amount of thread I bought when I first got into sewing. Whenever Joann's had a buy 3, get 3 free, I was like, yeah, you know it. I need colors. Let's see what's in the rainbow today. So I now have dust collecting on a load of Gutermann thread, a load of any type of thread over there. I've got a wall. If you've ever checked out my studio walkthrough video, I have a wall of thread that literally just collects dust. It's something I don't like looking at because it's so dusty. I need to figure out a way to either offload it, gift it to someone else. So if you're out there, comment below, let me know. I might be able to ship it to you if you're in the States. But yeah, I would say thread. I don't use it. Even when I was quilting on my domestic machine, I rarely went for a colored thread. I stuck with my neutral thread that worked well with the backing or the background fabric on my quilt. And it just looked and gave a timeless look using a neutral thread that blend and transfer across all the different fabrics in your quilt top. All right, and I know that this is gonna be a hot take. As back when I was doing fabric sales, this was always a hot take on if people even like these. But friction pens, marking tools, I gotta say, I love my hair marker. Once again, reusable, doesn't dry out. It's just a piece of plastic essentially. You could use a butter knife for all I care and mark your lines, whether it's for sewing half square triangles, whether it's for marking your quilting lines. But friction pens, I gotta say, they dry out so fast on me. I went through a lot of them thinking I'll get used to it. But then also the other problem that people had pointed out to me is that your lines never fully disappear. So if you're using this for quilting and marking your quilting lines, there is a probability that your lines may reappear if you don't wash your quilt. So if you're someone that makes their quilt, likes it looking pristine, lays flat, is perfect, then there's a chance that if it gets cold enough, especially with the friction pens, the lines might come up here or may reappear. Otherwise, if you do wash them, you'll be fine. And if you're using them for, say, marking half square triangles or sew lines on the back of your fabrics, it really shouldn't be an issue because those will be caught up in your seam lines, right? That shouldn't be a concern for you. But another one that, once again, I don't think I'll be buying anytime in the future at all, or even for my daughter because she's starting to get into sewing. I'll have her use my hair marker. It just never runs out of juice. It doesn't dry out, and it does its job perfect every time. I'd love to hear, what are your top notions or tools that you've bought and haven't used in your sewing room? Tell me down in the comments. In the next video, we're going to go over how to calculate backing and binding for your quilts so you're never short on that fabric again.